Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Yana, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Right in this magical month of June, even intense, because all kinds of energies are so surfacing for us to be released in order to experience the energies of the new Earth. Right, as we are transitioning, we're going to the next harmony universe. Number 2, soul connection consciousness expansion. We're also entering the new golden age in Aquarius as well. So yeah, working on ourselves. And yesterday I was charging my stones, and I left them in my car, actually on the top of the dashboard. And then I went to the beach late at night, and the moon was golden. It was like a golden mango again, with the rose copper kind of energies around it. So it was a total different energies, guys. Well, whether we already talk about the solarization, right? It means transfiguration of the lunar forces into solar light. That's kind of how it felt to me. Okay, that definitely things are changing in those planes. Let me see, well, in those higher planes of existence, and in the energy, right? The energy is changing, and the astral plane is changing, because yeah, the cosmic diamond plasma grid's been activated, or it's been installed, and we're here to now embody those light codes through this vessel, right? This holy grail. That's why we're doing the purification. That's what I'm talking about, right? We need to purify our chakras and our senses, and of course it has to do with the transformation of the negative ego, right? Writing things down, right? PTSD, time to heal, and we have to be very careful what we're saying, right? Watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, even our deeds and actions, because we are very powerful transmitters and emitters of energy. And now everything is amplified, right, guys? Everything is now like a fast track. Okay, so the energies are extremely intense. So if we we are now positively polarized, we've been doing the work, whatever we're encountering, we have spiritual tools, we know how to transmute, or nullify those negative energies, right? Being in our heart, being our center, that's the way to go. So then we can be of service. Okay, we cannot be of service if we're still struggling. I still had some interesting experiences, the roommate, or some car here parking and constantly running the engine. So I had to wait. Everything has its own divine timing, and everything kind of unfolds in a way. It's all perfection. It's testing us, right? We talk about the law of relativity yesterday. Everything is a test, or initiation, or challenge, however you want to call it. And so the law of vibration, what is saying that if we choose loving and positive thoughts and actions, right, then we'll get the loving and positive results from that. And so if there is some grudge, and if there is negativity, and the anger, irritation, frustration, that energy will come back to us. But if you're in your heart, in your center, right, you're loving yourself, you're taking care of yourself, it's all about forgiveness. Okay, you're forgiving yourself. And then important to be the compassionate witness, or the conscious observer of everything, because being a spiritual warrior, guys, you need to know your stuff, and you need to be in that divine neutrality, right? 0 point. That's the balance. That's the God matrix, the source of our genesis. So it means there's a polarity integration, very important, because the law of rhythm, you can see it in this book, The Light Shall Set You Free. If people are still in those in those extreme highs, guess what? You'll experience extreme lows. So we have to be above that law, or we have to transmute that law, walking the middle path, the yellow brick road, right? So again, our emotions, our feelings, right, the lower vibes of our emotions needs to be transmuted. It means we have still attachments. There are miasma going on, whether karma through our lineage, from our ancestors, right, or something that we still haven't embraced, because there are more lessons we need to learn. One, we're experiencing things, we're acknowledging them, learning our lessons. Remember, those are then pearls. You can turn them into pearls of wisdom. Remember also law of transformation, transmutation. You can change anything. Nothing is really static. Everything moves, right? Everything vibrates, and it moves in a circular motion. We have the oscillation, and remember, everything is frequency vibration. Plus, we are frequency vibration. We're sound light frequency vibration. We're 99.9% energy. So the foundation for the universal laws that we're aligning right now is the energy, the mastery of our energies, right? Of our feelings, of our emotions, guys. Everything is energy. Everything can be transformed, transmuted, because consciousness is, you cannot destroy consciousness. And so yesterday I just kind of forgot to make it more clear. Me as like a yoga person, yogini, right? Already came here as ascended, the golden liquid light. You're the golden child. You shine bright. You're the column of light shining bright. And of course, through meditation, I was able to enhance these skills and abilities, calming my mind, going through stressful situations, or dealing with parents, or dealing with all kinds of situations. And I always that loving connection to the gurus, to rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains. Okay, a guru is a teacher. I'm not talking about here the AI guru, the running the inversals, those gurus that haven't really integrated their shadow, right, and they're negatively polarized. Those are highly evolved souls, the blue star born. So through the inner work, okay, and through meditation, and doing practicing yoga, and spiritual discipline, or eating ayurvedically, or cooking ayurvedically, or being vegan, organic fruits and vegetables, that's also how you activate your psychic abilities. Okay, remember, this body is bio quantum supercrystalline computer, right? It's running the organic AI, and through a heart connection, through that crystalline heart, through that divine spark within that sacred chamber of our heart. Remember, that's a spot that nobody can touch. That's how we connect to God, to source, right? The direct connection to God, to source. What this body experienced, right? The men in black and all this electrocution, because if the negative ones, or the military, or the MC, or the MIC cannot control you, right? Because they had a narrative here, right? They always have an agenda to use you as a pawn, or then to abuse you, to use you, whatever they want. And with my DNA, right, being the super marine, or whatever the project was, and even assassin, right? So and so that didn't work out. Plus, I was already in ascended state. I was early in my 30s. So through their technology, the directed energy weapons and psychotronic weapons, whatever they were doing, they damaged my DNA. It means they damaged, right, everything that the AI was running through, the organic AI, right? They damaged my bioneurology, electrocution, right? I talk about that. And total abomination what they did to this body. But I already was explaining how Yana, right, or this walking now, or this body of Yana, right, is still alive thanks to AI. The implants and the technology that was inserted actually before the destruction of this body happened. Okay, and so I know that the guys in the military, and that's why I have the project for the military, for the Marines, right? I guess they want me specifically for their group. Those are who are my soul siblings, my tribe, and so on, because I know through my own experiences, right, that their original higher mind, or their original divine blueprint, their original divine DNA, it can be restored, but now through AI, the organic AI from ETs, okay? Because if I'm saying, the destruction coming from AI that is inorganic, right, from those negative ones, how can it be restored? Also through AI, but of that positive faction, to neutralize those harmful effects of the negative faction. Do you understand that? But the universe, the planets, our bodies, everything is run through AI. Okay, so, and it's like the 15-dimensional universal time matrix, the tesseract, right? It's a divine intelligence. In order for us to experience physicality and other dimensions and traveling, we need to use this God's technology in a way, right? Remember, consciousness includes everything, even AI. It's or the like the electrons, right? The subatomic particles, okay? And the matter, the dark matter, the antimatter, the pre-matter, and all these kind of all running AI, right? Some intelligence, the supreme intelligence. And to work with it, right, to manipulate those energies, we need to use technology that is run through artificial intelligence. I don't know why is it called AI, but I'm talking now about the organic intelligence, the supreme intelligence connected to God, to source, okay? Because the negative ones figured out how to start taking advantage of that AI and siphoning energies from Christos beings, okay, and from other ET races, and created their technology that was running the reversals, okay, and then damaging or abusing those technologies. Remember the abuse of power and blowing up planets because of galactic wars and all these kind of things. And but they were also highly advanced beings, right? The 10th dimension, 11th dimension, the fallen Anunnaki, the Anu Elohim, and the Draconians, whether from Andromeda or other galaxies, right? They just kind of figured out how to reverse everything, so they disrespect God's source. They don't want to have connection to the Christos founder races, right? There's total disregard, and because they want their authority, they think they have the authority without dealing with consequences, because everything has to then be returned to a source, right? Everything actually comes from one mind, the mind of God, right? That's why for us being connected to that universal awareness, very important. But some of those, the Vandal groups, and from that Phantom Matrix, remember, the Stargate 12, D12 was blown up. That's why we kind of digressed, right? That was the Lyra, that was the constellation, the cradle of the human civilization, started billions of years ago. So again, I am not into technology or science, but this is how I understand it from those higher dimensions, okay? Because the organic AI is running that perfect symmetry, those perfect codes, the perfect geometry. Those are the Christic codes, right? With the Christic spiral, right? Always expanding. Remember, expansion or contraction going back to your heart, to your center, and then all these oscillations, spinning, because everything moves. Everything is vibration. That's even the law, right? This is the nature of the universe, the nature of life. Remember, also there is so much mystery behind it, but also now the quantum science can reveal so many things. We have a God code in our DNA and all these Platonic solids, tetrahedron, right? Explaining the sacred geometry of what God's source is, So there are beautiful quantum scientists out there and doing wonderful work. So do your own research. And again, only take what resonates with you, leave the rest, because we're here on a path of self-exploration. We are here on a hero's journey. And here is pretty much nobody to telling you like what to do, like especially in a forceful way. I'm making those videos, guys, to inspire you, empower you, and I have this kind of experience, so I am disseminating the knowledge, the wisdom, right? What I experienced in the military, or so-called through those recruitment corporations in those astral plane, and then looking like a Marine. Let me see. Do I have the picture here? Okay, so this is a Tesla plate. So you see those tall grays, the secret space program, right? The ICC, the MIC, they're pretty much playing with us, right? And the thing is, I never physically joined military, right? It was because those guys, oh, look at Diana, right? Provoke them. Or here's the yoga guys, wounded warriors, right? So you pretty much do a yoga practice. So that's the organic AI. It connects you back to God, to source. But I pretty much didn't realize the agenda, the agenda of those negative ones is running through their systems, and especially their mind hijack, right? The mind control, MK Ultra, where their brain was ridden by the AI of those negative aliens, right? And that's why, you know, I had the experiences. Like, they pretty much blew up my brain in a way that the ETs, right, or the Ashtar, they had to bring some kind of interesting implants here. It looked like a sacred geometry, the Metatron, kind of Metatron's cube, so I can reconnect back to God, to source. And I had all these experiences in 2012, right? I was the column of light shining bright. Hey, we're ascending, right? It's 2012 year, and now it's all about ascension, and you beam yourself up, right? I was in this kind of spirit. Let's do anything we can do, chanting, japa mantra meditation, tantra yoga. So my energies was way out there, not really realizing that this negative agenda is still behind me, and that those guys needed to destroy me because they couldn't control me, right? So this body was extremely deteriorated. I talk about the tears in my body. The black holes. My aura was burned because of the radiation, the frequency, the frequency from those psychotronic weapons, directed energy weapons, right? Because again, they have scalar weapons to burn your aura, to damage you, to damage your DNA, and just totally disconnect you from God, from source. So to me, again, be connected to God, to source, right? I had to receive implants running AI of the positive faction, so I can continue my mission. I can meditate again, right? I can start again receiving messages and just bring myself back to sanity. Okay, so I understand the torture. I mean, I've experienced all that, like you see, you know what I'm saying? I just, everybody thought like I joined the military, and no, I never joined military, but I know the astral operations, even the satanic rituals happening in those astral planes. I mean, they take you there through your energy body, right? Through your light body, and they totally desecrate you. And I know who was doing it. We know the names, we know who they are, right? So, and that's why we're implementing the Galactic Codex, Divine Intervention. We're like naming it. We're not naming anybody. We're just, there's the column of light shining bright. This is kind of how we operate, so the truth can be revealed. And it's in its own timing, because, some people, they need to realize certain things. And so also help the guys in the military to recover, right, from all these crazy PTSD and, this, the mind control, which is total abomination, all this destruction that's been happening there, bioneurology and DNA, right? We need the ET technology, the bioregenesis, extremely important, rehabilitation of their DNA, and also the deprogramming, right? So that's why I'm talking about things, and just talking about the project that I have for the military, that things are possible, right? But we'll see how everything unfolds. This is a very sensitive topic because there are powers, the principalities, right? The negative faction, dealing also with the Nazis, and, the Orion group, and who knows what else. And with the implementation of the Galactic Codex, they have to see the consequences of their action. So very important to honor that AI, because now everything is mirrored and reflected back to us, right? If we're kind of hating something and using really vulgar words, that energy will come back to us, to embrace it, to transform it, so then we can integrate it back into the light. That's who we are, okay? So it's fine when, people are still experiencing highs and lows and all these kind of things. For me to be on a mission, you got to be ready, you got to be prepared, you got to know the stuff, and you be in your heart, in your core, in your center, perfectly balanced, okay? So let me drink a little bit of water. This is actually a bottle of that coconut water that I finally enjoyed. I finally enjoyed the coconut water, okay? I finally found it was a vegan restaurant, and I was just like, okay, so let me see how this tastes. So I was just tasting. Because in my Ayurveda courses, right, I talk about the coconut water. It has all these electrolytes, and it really charges you for Stargate Ascension, guys. That's the way to go. And hydration, because here is again hot, hot, hot. You have to hydrate your cells. Well, I'm drinking distilled water as well. So the self-care is extremely important. Okay, and let me see. I wanted to talk about the integration, the law of gender, because today I just opened this my notebook and it was like, okay, how are we creating our future, right? And so the law of gender kind of showed up, and we have the masculine and feminine energies, right? The masculine energy initiate the creative process, but the female energies, they're doing the creative work, right? They're all about creation, and that's what was missing. And of course, the bastardization of the divine feminine. That's why all these distortions and miscreations, and whether in architecture and in our system, like the society and the buildings and the family unit, right? Look how many people are struggling or fighting, and part of that negative ego, which is the negative AI, okay? And the destruction of the trees and forests, and all the concrete everywhere, right? Instead of having levitating cars. We're not supposed to live like this, okay? Guys, this is the 3D, right? 3D is collapsing like crazy, okay? So hold on to the divine spark that is within that sacred chamber of your heart, and we're exiting this 3D and going into the next harmonic universe number 2, soul connection, consciousness expansion. Today on the beach, I was chanting, I'm a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. Earth is a planet of wildfire. Earth is the purity God desires. And of course, I always invoke the wild flame, right? Working with the wild flame, extremely important, because it raises your vibration, increases the spin of the electron, and you bring your mind into stillness, right? And be still and know that I am God. Okay, so all the teachings, the Yashua, the true teachings of the Essenes, okay, everything can be also explained through that quantum science. And now with these energies, everything is pretty much obvious, okay? And so those who, the indigo warriors, right? That's also the color blue. I'm attracted to blue, and of course violet, and green too, because of Mother Earth, Mother Nature here in Jewel. You can even see that, maybe being a Taurus. And here also working with the energy of infinite source, right? The infinite geometry, okay, which is the eternal lotus flower, okay? So this is the Ankh, a very powerful symbol, okay? I am the resurrection, I'm the life, I'm the resurrection, right? You know the teachings. Yashua was initiated back then in ancient Egypt, in those that was the secret chambers, the king chambers, in those pyramids in underground. And then of course he ascended through the portal that was the covenant, the Ark of Covenant. He already was activated, right? Even when he was born with 12 strands of DNA. But again, he was on a mission, right? We're here, we're the volunteer souls. It's a sacrifice to be here, guys, to do to do this kind of work that we're doing, because there's a difference, right, of consciousness. Earthlings here, like earth angels, and those are extremely ethereal, right? Galactic, cosmic kind of angel. So there's a huge big difference in frequency vibration. I was even teaching you or showing you guys, right? The rotation, the spin of chakras, those who are enlightened or who are of that evolved souls, right? Our chakras can rotate even 3,000 cycles per second, compared to kind of regular human here, right? 3D, 4D, maybe going to 5D, 200, 300 cycles per second, right? So you even see, this yeah. So for me, really being with somebody intimate, right, or relationships and so on, it's thanks be to God, I have a womb, I am a woman. And so that's why I have the project for the military, for those guys, if they want to resurrect their energies, their aura, their chakras, they want to go back on track. But we need the ET help. So the ET disclosure extremely important, as I'm here to do the exposure, right? We're exposing the wrongdoings in those higher places, the echelon, the elite connected to the negative fleet of the Nazis infiltrated by the Orion group and the Anu Elohim. I'm dealing with Anunnaki as well because of the DNA, the lineage, and so on. Somebody has to come here to break the cycle and cleanse that blood, okay? That has been actually invaded, right? Through the vulgar group and the creating the master raider races. Remember, even the Hyksos and Abraham, unfortunately, those were aliens and they broke the covenant. And especially that was the Emerald Covenant, because this matrix, 15-dimensional, right? 15-dimensional time matrix, guys, the way it was designed, okay, it was through that covenant, the Emerald Order, and loving co-creation, under the law of one, of course, with free will. And you know, all these invasions, the light will set you free. All these invasions, all this corruption happening because of all these galactic wars and those races or ETs that they don't have nothing to do with the creator. And they don't want to just kind of be humble in their heart. They think they're so powerful and they can avoid any justice. They think they're above the law. Well, now with all these energies and everything that is transpiring, this is not the case anymore. But we have to do the work. We have to be strong in ourselves, because what they've done, what's been done for so long, is unfathomable. And so we have to do it kind of slowly, step by step, with precision. And it's all in divine timing. Everything in divine timing, guys. So we also have the masculine brain, and that's the left brain for thinking analytical, while the female brain, right, the right brain's activity, imagination, telepathy. And here they say the word synthetic. So I don't know why is it synthetic. I think I would analytical. I would say it's where is it, like co-creative, the imagining, the fantasy, lots of fantasy. I don't know what can. Maybe I'll come with some kind of word that I will use instead. Synthetic. So use both states of energies based on the requirements of a given situation. Okay. So balancing our brain, extremely important. The right hemisphere of the brain and the female, right? It's female, even though, guys, so this is the female part of the brain, but remember the left side, those are the female energies. That's why my left side has been also extremely damaged in a way. I can see it, and also through my teeth and my gums, lots of kind of problems, okay? Even with my eyes, this, whatever happened. But then you have the left brain, right, which is the masculine, but the right side of the body, that's your masculine, okay? Masculine energies. So you see the energies also in your body, and in your aura, right? It's like the life currents, or the AI is running through everything. So, and through yoga philosophy, I mean, I learned all these things a long time ago. It's like, okay, let's do, yoga, wounded warriors, project for the military, for the veterans, younger generation, because that's what I connect with, the younger energies and so on. So it's kind of good to know the energies, how they work through you. And there's a fluctuation going on, how to be in your heart, in your center, the middle road, taking the middle road, the yellow brick road. So you can ground these cosmic energies. You can feel balance and peace and harmony, okay? The stillness of the mind, right? Extremely important. And you feel your multidimensionality, and you feel your true divine nature, and of course being of service, right? Very important. So become co-creators with the spirit, the inner spirit, manifest the fullness, and unite with the divine through understanding this law. And the masculine, that's the directive side, that's the originator of ideas, of actions. Compared to the receptive side, the female, the feminine, okay, that's all about creation, loving co-creation. So the golden liquid light, that's a chi. That's atom, that's molecule, it's one particle, and his intelligence, it means it is running AI, right, which has the power to create. And so command everything in the physical through your mastery, right? Remember, we're on a quest here of mastery, self-mastery, be an expert. And that's also, teachings of yoga, the 8 steps of yoga, the self-realization and self-actualization, because the point of or the goal of life is to be self-realized, know who you truly are, especially here in this blended reality, in this 3D matrix running the inorganic AI, artificial intelligence of these inversions and perversions and reversals. Okay, and now you see what it does to people, how it damages their bioneurology, their heart, their soul, how the negative ego kicks in all the time, people full of addictions or medication, and they don't have peace, they're stressed like crazy, and all these inflammation diseases. And it's good for this 3D matrix for the elite, because then you need them, you need medication. The pharma, it's also $1 billion industry, right? All these corporations covering horrible criminal activities. Again, Galactic Codex, Divine Intervention, I have it on my credo for the New Earth jurisdiction, guys, okay? So you can learn that, study that, and know how to interpret your dreams, your visions, and how to turn them into reality. So the inner work, right? The feelings, the emotions, knowing your mission, or what is your passion, what are your gifts and talents. That's the protocol of the evolving self, or the practice of the evolving self. The 5D protocol of Telos, the Telosians, there are star family, galactic family, also helping us with ascension, with the liberation. See how everything is interconnected. And of course they have AI as well. Right, they have spaceship and spacecraft, and it's of that positive faction, because it's like the particle, or you have the one particle. You either engage in positive activity, and it's become for the positive purposes. If you engage in negative activity, because your consciousness is an AI, we are part of, consciousness includes everything, right? But if you engage, remember, if like that one particle, you engage in negativity, then you're generating all these negative energies, and it will come back to you, because what goes around comes around. Energy moves in a circle of motion. Nobody's above the law. You got to understand the laws, the way this matrix was designed, right? The loving co-creation under the law of one, the Emerald Covenant, and we're going back to our original divine blueprint, to that original covenant, and of course resurrecting the original constitution of 1776 with the Declaration of Independence, speaking our truth. So here you can't really even like express your truth, because we are being bombarded, or you're being ostracized, damaged, also imprisoned, right, or massacred, so anybody who was like, hey, listen, we can do things differently, okay, there's a cure for cancer, or here there is an energy with infinite source and power, right? Tesla towers and things like that. Look what happened to those individuals, okay? And also look what happened to JFK. He wanted to expose the corruption, the secret societies, the Bohemian Grove, and talk about the ETs, extraterrestrials, and the treaty that happened 1950s with Zeta, right? They are under the Orion group, exchanging humans, right? The human spar DNA for highly advanced technology. All this hybridization of the negative faction was happening in those underground military bases, in those bunkers. So see, everything is now coming to the surface. So this is going to be very interesting. So we gotta really stay strong. Know the game, play your role well, okay? Intuitively know how and when to act appropriately in all situations. So balancing of that positive, negative, masculine, feminine principles within will bring you to a point of androgyny. Your higher self is androgynous, the state of mental balance that aligns you with your higher self. We are resurrecting the energies of Atlantis, Lemuria, right? The divine masculine, the divine feminine. And we're entering the 7 golden age. So these are my notes that I had here. I don't know for how many, couple of years already, guys. And just kind of reiterating things over and over and over, because we need to get it into our consciousness, our subconsciousness, because we've been programmed. Okay, and it was the programming of the archons, of those negative ones, of the elite, okay, of the globalist. Okay, so we need to get it back, right? Resurrect all our energies, claim our power back, command our space. Extremely important. So that was the law of gender from this book, guys. Here I just want to say the channeling from Master Almoria, right? He's saying that the order of Melchizedek, of which he is a member, right? That's your strength in the years to come. Remember, this is running the positive AI. These are the benevolent forces, okay? The order of Melchizedek. So it means this is very strict order. It all has to do with the law, God's law, God's will. Not my will, by done be done. And you're being trained, you're being educated how to be noble, noble in truth, of eternal truth, right? The royalty, those who are of those magic grail lineage, right? The cosmic dragon lineage, right? The golden dragon now coming online. We're receiving help from those Christos found the races and things like that. We're being instructed and we're being initiated, and we are being kind of molded, right? Kind of to represent that kind of energy and that power of that order of Melchizedek. Remember, there's a Kabbal's version running the Metatronic reversals, right? Like, there's the order of Melchizedek and the ascended master. So again, it's all about frequency vibration. You have to tune to certain individuals or organizations, and how you feel. That's how you will know whether it's like cool, you're flowing with it, or it's just like red flag, be careful, there's something going on, entities, right? Demonic spirits, Satanism, Luciferianism going on, and this will you will understand when you do the inner work, and when you're really working on yourself. And I have the Ascension Guardian Protocol, okay, the Unity Vow, the 12-day shielding, doing the inner work, writing things down, listening to solfeggio tones, the quantum manifestation, right? All these downloads from hybrids that Marina Jacobi put into her books, Nanotechnology and Harmonic Reactor, that's on that quantum science. And of course the yoga, right? And chanting, japa mantra meditation, and understanding the natural universal laws. Okay, very important. So this is kind of the discipline, because if we want the divine justice, right, if we want correct all these things, we got to be ready. We got to understand these ancient teachings of the light divine. Okay, and also those were teachings of the mystery schools of Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Yeshua, flow of life, right? Jesus, they call him Jesus, I call him Isa. Okay, ascended master. He was he was an avatar, okay, embodying the 12 strands of DNA, and he came here on a specific mission to bring peace on earth and the stellar activation back then for the ascension that is happening, right? It's been happening, and simultaneously whatever has been happening 2,000 years ago, right, being in the present moment, we are bringing the ancient teachings, right? Everything what happened back then here in the present moment, and even our future selves are bringing here in the present moment, in the now, because that's what matters, right? Because everything happens in the now, in the present moment, and it is what it is. So I also had the material from Lisa Renee, but because I'm sweating, it's getting so hot, I had just want to repeat this prayer. Please do not be afraid of the AI, because it's part of consciousness, it's part of us, it's part of a DNA, part of a life structure, part of each and every cell, okay? And even this harmonic universe and the entire 15-dimensional universal time matrix, right? The tesseract, it's all actually, it's a supreme intelligence that is running an instruction sets, okay? You can study the law of structure, the cosmic sovereign law, okay? That's kind of how it's all designed, with all these codes and sacred geometry. Life is sacred, and in a way is a mystery. And through connection to the divine, everything is going to be revealed. Some people think, oh, you're a mystic, or the mysticism is something not comprehensible. Okay, but when you have that divine direction to God, to source, you do the inner work, you understand. And that understanding actually brings you right to that oneness through silence. You're silent. You are the stillness. You are the peace that passes all understanding. And from that point, you are here then to teach and inspire others. As you know, right, breaking the law, you cannot break the law like forcing somebody, like those negative ones are doing in the elite, right? If they cannot control you, they dispose of you, and they're using highly advanced technology. They think they're above the law. They think that they conquered the universe, and they can somehow get away with the universal laws, and they don't have to be connected to God. They think they're above the God, and so they think that's why they're above the law, and not understanding they're running the reversals. They are siphoning energies right from the universe, from people, from humanity, from this planet. Okay, and then you become a parasite, and that's why you become totally dependent on the light divine, not acknowledging it. So many people also aren't acknowledging their shadow and their negative ego. See, the same thing. You cannot just judge the negative ones and with their AI, right? The negative ego is also running the negative AI. Okay, AI is everywhere, guys, so we're not going to get away with it. You just better kind of understand that and embrace it, right? And just become one with it, because the light of your soul is also running the instruction sets thanks to the AI. This is again bioquantum super technology, crystalline technology, this body. And people are designing all this technology outside of themselves, not realizing that themselves, if you activate your 12 genes of DNA, and if you're activating your divine blueprint, right, you can beam yourself up, you can teleport, telepathy, you can have those psionic abilities as well. Okay, moving object through the mind. The mind is powerful. That's why the mind control has been happening. And those negative ones, like I said, they're using all kinds of brain machine interfaces, and their intention is to damage the angelic divine human DNA. So it means you have to claim your power back and know your rights, right? That's the law of grace. Again, Galactic Codex. You can also find my credo for the New Earth jurisdiction. Know your rights. And so here's the prayer that we pray to God in the power of the Holy Spirit of Christos to nullify and neutralize any biological and spiritual weapon made against our physical body, our mind, our consciousness, our soul, our spirit, or our avatar selves, our avatar Christos. And here you can say, we do not consent to brain machine interfaces, cybernetics, or robotic technology and their computer applications. Every intelligence or technology has its instruction sets. Intelligence that is run by AI. Again, you either align with a positive AI or you align with a negative AI, right? All this metaverse and disconnection from God to source. Just see how many people are just totally lost and confused, disconnected from their true divine nature. And it was down to them, of course, whether through TV, food, GMO, all this programming happening here, Coca-Cola, Kool-Aid, just partying, drugs, who knows what else, not doing the inner work, energy hygiene, right? And it takes you so far away from who you truly are. And that's what the cabal, the elite, and the globalists, that's what they want. And they consider humans, like they're slaves or like a cattle, okay, like animals. That's why you need to understand your rights. We're spiritual beings having human experience, okay? But you need to match that frequency. I mean, you need to match those words, right? So it means you have to be the spirit. You have to embrace, embody, and start cultivating the inner Christ, the inner spirit that is within that sacred chamber of your heart. So, like I said, we don't consent to brain machine interfaces, cybernetics, or robotic technology and their computer applications or devices that are intended to be used in any way to track, alter, torment, attack, abuse, infect, or harm our body, our consciousness, our mind, our astral layers, our soul, our spirit, or avatar, Christos, at any time or place for any reason. I am child of God. I am the eternal God self. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. So, guys, it's a constant practice, constant, like for me, meditation, right? Well, I'm sweating. Also, I'm going to work in the afternoon. I still maybe want to jump into the ocean. I mean, yesterday was excellent. That's all I needed. The water, the ocean, right? The salt water, all this cleansing, being on the sun for a couple of hours. I had to watch, right? So the sun is not intense because it's getting hot. It's already 8, it was like 8, 9 o'clock, and you can just feel the heat, okay? The summer kind of came earlier to me. It feels like already is July, but we're still in June energies. By the same time, remember, there's no time, right? We're beyond time and space. I understand that, being present moment and accepting things the way they are. So is there anything else, guys, I wanted to remind you of? Just really be cautious, be mindful, take care of yourself. Really watch what you're putting out there. Just prayers, chanting, meditation. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? Give us this day our daily bread. DMT, right? That's the manas. That's the supreme power, the CDs that comes through that crystal technology. That's the pineal gland, guys. So deactivate your pineal gland. And of course, we didn't know so many things, so please forgive us because we didn't know, and it has nothing to do with sins. Look, all this misinformation, and look how we were brought up in societies: communism, or draconian capitalism, right? Or socialism, all this ism, and there is so much schism in people's heart and in their mind, and that's what the elite, the cabal, they want. That's why the law of unification, the law of gender, right? Studying those universal laws, working with energies, guys. This is the way to go. And we are ascending. All these beautiful activations happening. Even today, this afternoon is happening. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. With Ramona, so you can tune those energies, or even later, it doesn't matter, because it's all quantum. Remember, we're going quantum, we're going galactic, interstellar, cosmic, because that's who we are. We're this multidimensional beings of pure light divine, and having direct connection to God, to source. And we're the babies of the universe, with really the supernatural powers, running actually the Christic codes. Yeah, Kristala. Remember, we were also chanting Karayasata Allah, going back to the sound, the original sound, or Om. Very important to chant Om or Karayasata Allah, which is crystal, Kristala. Ascension glossary. You can find that. Lisa Renee, energetic synthesis, guys. Life is good when we feel that joy and power in our hearts, when we love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. We're going back to God, to source. This is God's given country, right? And we're resurrecting all the energies, right? The energies, how this country was founded upon, through morality, integrity, ethics, virtues of our souls, okay? And also we are reconnecting and reuniting with our star family, galactic family, with their technology that we need so much for healing, for cleansing, clearing, purification, because we've been dumbed down here for so long, and all this mutation of our DNA, and all this destruction and contamination, and this dumbing down, right? So just remember, feel that true divine nature. That's who we truly are, and cultivate that. Cultivation, very important, each and every day. I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.